Okay. Hello, Twitchverse. We are live. I think my mic's a little hot though, so I'm gonna push it back slightly. Also lower it, maybe. Let's get the timer set. Oh, what's that? Let's get the timer set for 30 minutes of working on this project. And what is this project? This is building Pong in Pygame. I'm not doing this from scratch. I'm doing it based on a remake of Pong put out by the Harvard CS50 games program. So if you look on GitHub, which I can do now, I had it open. Oops, wrong thing. So, GitHub Games50/Pong, Atari's 1972 classic implemented in Lua with Love. Love is both a game engine and also just, with love. So I'm going to be following along on these in order, implementing. This one is I've watched the lecture, so I kind of remember what some of these are about. And the first thing I'm going to do is, well, the first thing I have already done is set up some boilerplate just so I can pygame.init, set the screen to 500 by 500, set the variable running to true, have a running loop, be ready to quit, and set the running loop to false and do pygame.quit if we need to. I put in this dt equals clock.tick 60 because I want to use that for making things move at a predictable speed, regardless of how fast the system is that's running it. And then fill the screen up with black. That's 000 RGB, and put that on the screen. See, I don't need this comment. So what's to do now? Let's see how we add some text to this. 1 second. Can ignore that. So I was just looking at display text in Python. It seems like the important parts here are to include well, actually, let's back up. This is Pong 0, and this, let's make this quite a bit bigger. This tells you how to set the display caption, so we may as well do that. And I'm going to rearrange things a bit here. I'll call it Pong 0, hello Pong. And I just want to, looking at what's happening in my example code, there's a width and height. I've set my own numbers for that. Load. Things are organized a little bit differently here. But the important thing is to display the string hello Pong So let's just put in a comment of hello Pong so we know that's what we're working towards. And see what else needs to happen. We need to set a font object. I'll do that before I initialize the clock. So font is pygame.font.font free sans bold.ttf. Do I have to download this font myself, or is that included in Pygame somehow? I wonder. We're going to find out, I think. In fact, let's even just run it now and see if it errors out. It must be included in Pygame somehow. First parameter is the font file, which is present in Pygame. There we go. Text is... Did they define blue at some point? Okay. I like this flute thing. Hello Pong, true. Why does it have two colors? Create a text surface object on which the text is drawn. Let's just delete these and see what PyCharm says about the arguments. Anti-alias bool, we'll say true for that. Color, let's do 1, 1, 1. And background, let's say none. Forgot a space here. So we take our font and we render the string hello Pong into text. And then we have to create a rect object. We have to get rect. Yeah. We have to create a rectangle object. I'm going to call this text underscore rect because I feel like it. Set the center of the rectangular object. What was X? I'm not going to use X and Y. I'm going to use all capital width and height. Plug those in here so I can change them easily from just one place. Now, they're taking text rect.center equals, I'll copy paste this so I don't have to remember it in full. Equals width divide by 2. Now the double divide, I'm pretty sure that's integer division. Height divide by 2. So it's going to be the center. That is going to be in the center. They're filling the display surface with white. I've already done a screen.fill. I think screen and display are coming from the same thing in this case. Okay, this is the line that actually writes it, so we'll put it here. But call this .blit. Text is as above. Text rect is here. I'm gonna have to learn what get wrecked is all about. Let's just play this. That seems to be missing something. You know what, maybe I need this to be 255 and so on. I think I got my colors wrong. Hello Pong. Okay, we have a working game instance and it says hello Pong. Let's commit this. Add a .getIgnore. I'll add it to get myself. Ignore V and V. We do want to ignore .idea. On branch main, no commits yet. Untracked files, .getIgnore and Pong's go git add .git commit. I felt that like hesitate just slightly, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's see, my timer's still going. Yep. Pong 0. Hello Pong. Okay. Let this update those things. Looking good. Now let's see what they do in the next version of this. We were at Pong 0. Go to Pong 1. We have this one is working with a virtual width and virtual height. I don't know if I want to bother with that detail. I can always refactor it later. Because this is requires specifically on the push, I want to say library. I think it's a library in Lua. Okay. Keyboard handling called by love2d each frame passes in the key we press so we can access. So this is saying if there's love.keyPressed of key, if key is escape, then do the quit. So let's do that. Let's do that here. elif event.type equal key equal Pygame dot key down. If event dot key I thought you could do event dot key in Pygame. Guess I'm gonna have to go look at this. What are my... It's smart enough to know that type is in here. Can I open this up? Def clear, def custom type. Give me case sensitive event type. Is this even... I'm not even sure this is the real source code. I think it might just be some reconstructed nonsense that isn't very helpful to me. External libraries. Site packages. Pygame. This might be a wild rabbit chase, but I want to search. Oops. Find in directory Pygame event. Okay, let's ask the internet. What I'm trying to say is if event.key equal got key escape, it's right there. Then running equal false. Let's run that. And if I hit escape, it quits. Okay, so I shouldn't have been too worried about whether the autocomplete was giving me event.type. Wait. Key down if event.key. Oh, yeah, that's what I was complaining about, is that it wasn't giving me .key as an automatic thing, but okay, that worked. What else happens in this one? This is that push library that we don't need to think about. Love.graphics.print if I did that in the Pygame way. So that's all the changes in this one. So we're back to Pong, now Pong 2. It includes a font. I think that's been there since the earlier ones. Push.lua is a library, I think. We don't need to think about that, though. What does this one add? We have a small font. We set up the screen. We already have the escape. Clear the screen with a specific color, in this case a color similar to some versions of the original Pong. Oh, this is RGB alpha. 40, okay, let's use those numbers. In here it's screen.fill, and I'm not going to bother with the alpha channel. Let's run that. Looks pretty similar. Okay, that's alright. Render first paddle. Why does my dot keep appearing? Pygame draw rectangle. Pygame.draw.rect draws a rectangle on a given surface. Can I do like surface.draw? I think I've seen things like that in Pygame. Well, let's rect on the screen. Color. Let's make it white. We need to create a rectangle. Rect of top left width height. And that needs to come from Pygame dot rect of. Now let's do some thinking about shapes and sizes. We got a width of 500. Let's try 10. Top will be width divide by top will be width. Wait a second. Left top width height. Oh, is my screen freaking out? Sorry about that. That video is pretty bad looking. Maybe I need to stay away from that window. Let me check my system preferences. Displays. Oh, this is kind of nasty. My charm preferences, appearance. We gotta bring down this font size quite a bit. Try it there. That should help. I need to do the editor. Font 18. It's all rather crowded, but maybe it'll make it easier to see on stream anyway. Let's see now if this is going to appear without freaking out on the display. That's looking better. Width of 10, height of 30. Let's give that a go. That actually looks pretty reasonable. Of course, I didn't bother to center it because we want it to be, we actually want, let's see, it's left top width height. Let's try it now. Interesting that Hello Pong seems to be a little higher than it is. I'm not going to bother about that too much right now. Let's draw another paddle. This time it's going to be... Oh, you know what? This should be height. Divide by 2 minus 5. Did PyCharm add spaces when I copy-pasted it? That's kind of neat. Maybe it didn't. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Width minus 10 to be at 10 from the side, but the paddle has a width of 10, so minus another 10. Cool. Let's put the center of the text at... Also, let's make this width of 800, just so we're not... Just so it's not a square, because I'll get confused about vertical versus horizontal if I'm thinking about squares. Or to put it another way, I'll be less likely to be confused if I can check myself that it's a square. You know what, maybe let's go full screen with PyCharm. That should work. Yeah, that seems good. Okay. What else is in this version? Render second paddle, render ball. That's a good one. Oh yeah, and I was gonna move the center of the text to not be so up high. Let's give it 20 there and see. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so that'll open up a new window over there for me. That works nicely. Oh yeah, making the ball. So it's still gonna be white. I want it in the center. I'll start with width divide by 2 and height divide by 2. And let's make it 8 by 8, which means we want to take 4 off of the X and Y positions of it. I think the paddles could be wider. And I think now's a good time to introduce some variables for the paddle width stuff. So, and by wider I mean taller. So let's call this, yeah, paddle height. Now we can move this up with our other constants. Paddle height equals 50. Paddle width equals, I think I like the width of 10. Try that. Wait, let's put the width in place as well. Now with the ball, I kind of don't want to define a ball width and a ball height because they're going to be the same. So let's call it ball size equals 8. Go in here, we got ball size. Now, have a paddle wall offset equal 10. Drop in the paddle width there. 5 was for paddle height divided by 2. It's complaining about line length, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. Let's see if I haven't broken anything. One of these is higher than the other. Gonna have to fix that. Okay. We have... Oh, we don't want paddle wall offset here twice, but let's focus on the first paddle. Its distance from the top is going to be its distance from the left wall to the right is going to be paddle wall offset. Its position is going to be height divided to minus paddle width. Where's paddle width? This should be paddle width. And this should be paddle width divided by 2. Okay, next we have... We definitely don't want to subtract paddle wall offset twice. We want to have width minus paddle wall offset minus paddle width. For the position, we want height over 2 minus paddle height over 2 comma paddle width comma paddle height. That looks right. I still feel like one of them is higher than the other one. Their Y values should be the same. So what am I doing differently? Oh. Height divided by 2 minus paddle... Ah, yes. Height divided by 2 minus paddle height divided by 2. Try that. That looks more like it. Let's just check that they're... Yep. Cool, I like this. And there's the time's up on a work session, so let's take this to break mode. Go get me a drink of water. Okay. We are back. Let's do some more coding of Pong. Where did we... Where did we leave off? Right, hello Pong. We have paddles. They look a little long to me. I might shorten them a bit. This is the nice thing about having these constants. Paddle height 50, that seems a bit much now that I've seen it. Try paddle height 40. And that seems a little small, but you know what? We can update it as we go, get it looking the way we want it to. Okay, what else may have been in this version? More push, which I'm not using. Oops. Go back to Pong. You know what this is? I forgot to commit at Pong 1. Let's commit Pong 2. View code. This is, maybe if I make this a little smaller. The rectangle update. Sure, that'll be our commit message. Lowercase matters. Okay. What did we add that time? Changed our width. We added some constants. We changed the position of the text rectangle. We added, oh yeah, escape key to exit the game. We changed the background color a little bit. Oh, I should take this away, we don't need that. Okay. Pygame.drawRect, draw rect, draw rect. We drew 3 rectangles. And that's the differences. Okay. Git add dot, git commit. And I like to use my text editor to write my commit message so I have more time to think about it. Pong 2 quote rectangle update. Okay, what's the next update in Pong 3? The paddle update. What did they change here? Oh, we added a paddle speed. Okay. So basically, it's allowing the paddle to move. 200 seems high, although I don't know, you know, how that's actually going to come out, so let's not worry about that just yet. What else was new here? We have scores. We have player 2 score. And I remember that part of this is... Part of what needs to happen is the player 1 and player 2 scores need to be displayed. So let's say score font equals none for now, because I just want to look at something. Run. That's... I'll make the score even a little bit bigger than that. By the way, what's the name of this update? The paddle update. I already read that. Where were we? Oh yeah, score font is pygame.font. 3 sans bold, seems to be doing well. .ttf. Let's do 56. Let's refactor this to say hello Pong text. Whoa, no, cancel. Current file, refactor. Was it doing that in all of my like external libraries? That's not what I want. That's interesting. So score font is at 56. We can do a score text rect. Except we're gonna have to put that inside of the rendering things because it's gonna be different. Score text rect equals. Now, how do we build a text rectangle? Score text equals pygame. No, equals score font dot render, and now it's gonna be a string off of player 1 score. I don't know why it was recommending player 2 score first. That seems backwards. True. 255, 255, 255. You know what? We can make a colors section. Background color. Cool. And what was that? That's right here. Background color equals that. White equals that. So white and none. I don't even remember what that was for, but let's move bravely forward. So the score text we need to move into here because it's going to depend on the value of the score, which is going to change. And then there's a score. There's going to be a score text rectangle built after this pattern. Score text. Oh, I made a mistake. I need to name score text player 1 text, and so on. Score text, we can refactor that. Score text.get rectangle. Refactor u in current file. Refactor is... Can I set this to default? It's almost not worth using the tool if I have to click that every time. Then the other thing we had to do that's the hello text rectangle. We need to place it somewhere good. This is already getting kind of ugly. Green. Oops. Dot split. Layer 1 score text. Then player 1 score text rectangle. Then we're going to do a similar pattern for player 2. Player 2 score text. I'm going to do this manually. It's going to maybe be kind of painful to watch, but it won't be too bad. Player 2 score true white none. Player 2 score text rect is player 2 score text dot get rect. Player 2 score text rect dot center is now, let's think about this. We have it, we want it to be width over 2 plus width over 4. And let's drop it down only 10. Although that might actually have it being partly off the screen. Let's see. Yep, it is partly off the screen because it's the center that I'm placing. Let's try 40. Interestingly, we only are seeing one of them. Probably because I forgot a row of... Oh yeah, this has to be player 2. And player 2. Okay. That's looking good. It's convenient that I can center the text on things. Escape to exit that. I already forgot the name of I'm gonna make a new redo.text. Don't add it to get, but do add it to get ignore. This is the paddle update. Pong 3. The paddle update. Let's see what this one does. We have variables for the paddle positions. So let's paddle position variables. key presses move paddles W/S and up down arrows. Okay. That's all of that stuff. Escape is quit. This is drawing. Drawing hello Pong. Draw score on left and right. Need to switch font to draw before actually printing. Now this is an interesting difference between Lua and Love 2D, is that there's a single active font, whereas here we build the variables from the font. It's an interesting difference in. You're required to be a little more explicit in Python here. Let's see, what is red? Oh, that's just a light red for where the thing is getting set. Okay. Oh, I forgot my session timer. We'll just start it now. So, let's see how they handled the logic for moving the keys. We have the player1y variable. Let's create that. And where is this going to start? It's going to start wherever I put it over here. That's height divided by 2 minus paddle height divided by 2. Similarly, player 2y equals the same thing. Now when we draw, we do, let's put a comment here, player 1 paddle, player 2 paddle, player, oops, not a player 3 paddle, ball. And this is going to be player 2 y. Let's just double check that things look the same for now. Sure. Next elif event dot key dot key. Oh, it's a lowercase w. Interesting. Guess that makes sense. So the logic over here was player 1y plus equals minus paddle speed times dt. Right, was it minus? Or plus equals minus paddle speed times dt. And let's talk about dt for a second. I've defined dt somewhere. Oh, need that up here. The clock starts here, and then it runs, and dt tells us how much time, and I don't know the units are. So let's look at Pygame time clock tick. This method should be called once per frame. It will compute how many milliseconds have passed since the previous call. Okay, so it's milliseconds. And also, if you pass the optional frame rate argument, the function will delay to keep the game slower than the given ticks per second. This can be useful to limit the runtime speed of the game. By calling click.tick paren 40 once per frame, the program will never run at more than 40 frames per second. I've actually got it set to 60. Now let's imagine that a second has gone by. In a second, I would want like maybe 100 to go by. So paddle speed is 100, but I think it's divided by 1000. Because this is going to be like, in a second, 1,000 milliseconds will go by. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, interesting. It's only registering the initial key down event. It's not registering that it stayed down. So that's a difference in the way that Pygame and Lua manage keyboard.isDown of W. So we actually don't have to care about a key down event. So I think what I actually want to do, pygame.key W Pygame key is down. This looks like it's going to be relevant. I made two functions which would check for an event. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is a better plan. I would advise you stick to the event-driven approach rather than using a polling mechanism. You should let key events alter some internal state to reflect a key pressed, in my opinion. Example, you are controlling a spaceship with your keyboard. You want the propulsion rockets to fire when you press W, S, A, or D to make the ship accelerate in a certain direction. On pygame.keyDown event, set an appropriate acceleration vector for the object and I'm not going to set an acceleration vector. I'm going to set just a direction change. So while key is down, is that right? On pygame.keyUpEvent, set the acceleration vector to 0 if event key in KW, KS, KA, or KD. This will effectively make the object accelerate while a movement key is pressed and stop it accelerating when the key is released. Or you can do pygame.key.set repeat. When the keyboard repeat is enabled, keys are held down. Will generate multiple pygame.keyDown events. The delay is the number of milliseconds before the first. So I have got an implementation choice to make here. Let's bring this back over here. Elif. So what we actually need to have is we need a player 1 y speed equals 0 and a player 2 y speed equals 0. And Now I want player 1 Y speed to be that. And over here I want to update positions. Player 1 Y speed. Did I type that wrong? Player 1 Y speed equals 0. Player underscore 1 Y speed. Yes, yes. So 1 Y speed times dt, and player 1 Y equal player 1 Y speed times dt. I don't necessarily want to do an elif here, do I? Yeah, I can do elif. Event.type equals pygame.key up if event key equal pygame.key underscore w player 1 Y speed equals 0. Now we can do this for elif event.key equal ks. ks. Oh, not plus equals, just equals. And if the key up is s, it's still 0. Let's try this. Whoa. Okay, a couple things went wrong there. Height divided by 2 minus paddle height divided by 2. Why did player 1Y start at such a high point? Well, for one thing, player 1Y plus equals player 1 speed times dt. There's the problem. There. And it can go off the screen, which we will fix later. Cool. We need to do the same thing with up and down, but that should be a straightforward thing to add. So we're going to do this all over again, but it's going to be k up, then player 2 Y speed is minus paddle speed, which by the way I'm going to increase because it felt a little slow. It's about 300 per second. If it's k up, player 2 Y speed is minus paddle speed. Event key is k down, player 2 Y speed equal paddle speed. Now do this same logic. Event key equals k up, player 1 Y speed equals oh, 0. Let's make these be elif. Because this is going event by event, right? Yeah. So player 2 over here, player 2 over there. Oh, let's just test it. Run. I made a mistake with... And you know what? I know that it's WS and AD is the traditional approach, but I'm going to use different keys. I'm going to use key E and key D, because that's more natural for me on my keyboard. Oh, you know what? I never wrote the update. Y, player 2Y plus equals player 2Y speed times dt. Now that should actually do something. And I want the paddles to be longer. Let's try adding 5 to the paddle height. Uh-oh. I made a mistake again. Even when I let go of the... Well, it works there. Okay, hold on. Start over. What's happening? When you just use the arrows, when I press up, release, it stops, but when I press the down arrow, it doesn't stop moving even when I release the key. So I made a mistake in my logic here. Oh, that's what it is. E down, and this is supposed to be E and D. Need to restart it, I assume. I don't think you can hot swap code. Okay, that feels nice. Oh, where did my mouse go? So I have moving paddles. What else do I need in my to-do.txt? Key press move paddles, okay. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my terminal out. Chunk there. In cdk50 Pong, I'm going to clone this repo because I want to just be able to read the diff from version to version. So Pong code except I don't want to do SSH. I don't want to do that. I want to do SSH. Just get at I think it's like that. GitHub.com : Now we've got Pong, and I want to see the difference between git diff pong 2 main.lua with Pong 3 main.lua. What? That can't be right. How about Pong 1? Something's weird. Oh. It thinks I want... No, that's... Get, how do I... Well, I can just rm-rf .get, remove the git history. It's no longer a git repo, but that's okay. Now git diff is gonna... Okay, there we go. Okay, so moving from the rectangle update to the paddle update, let's make this full screen. Paddle speed. Larger font for drawing the score on the screen. Okay, that's fine. Initialize score variables used for rendering on the screen, keeping track of the winner. Oh, this is going from 2 to 3. Right? The paddle update. I'm working on... Yeah, I'm working on the paddle update. I need this thing to tell me it's a break time pretty soon because my brain's starting to get fried. Okay. Player 1 movements, player 2 movement. Love.graphics.set font small font. Draw the score on the left and right center of the screen. Okay, I've done that. Render first paddle left side now using player's Y variable. Okay, rendering the paddles, I've done all that. Okay, I've done everything for getting up to version 3. Neat. And you know what? I will commit my to-do.txt. To git add dot git status git reset. Git add to do text git commit add to do items for Pong 3. Now git status commit, and this is going to be, so I need to add still. This will be the paddle update. Git add dot git commit Pong 3 the paddle update. Okay, a little more to go on this, but I'm going to cheat on it and say it's time. Take a little break. It's kind of dark, but it actually almost makes it easier to see. It's interesting. Okay, we are back. Not sure how well you can see that hourglass, but it's there. Okay. Time to move on to Pong 4. Yeah. So can I do a get diff Pong 2 against Pong, actually, well, Pong 3 against Pong 4? Nice, thank you, Git. Pong 4, the ball update. Seed the random number generator so that calls to a random are always random. Use the current time since that will vary on startup every time. Math.randomSeed os.time. Okay, so I'll have to read some documentation on Pygame random seed. PyNative, Stack Overflow. Where is... None of these are Pygame specific. What if I put Pygame in quotes? Looks like it's just random.seed in the normal way you would with the Python random module. Well, that's nice. And if we go into, let's just play with this. Python import random import OS. Can we do time? OS doesn't have time. Import time time.now. Python get 16 time. Time.localtime. Time.structTime. I just want .seconds. Python get epoch time. Oh, time.time. That's so simple. Now random.rand. Random eSeed. That's probably because I spelled it wrong. Random.seed. Let's try 5. That worked. Rand.randInt. Oh, it requires. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and then if we go back to seed 5, random 1 to 10. Okay, that's good. Now if we do random.seed of time.time, is it gonna like that or is it gonna be angry? Random.random 1 through 10. Interesting that it gave us 9 twice. Okay, it's random.seed. Oh, but do I have to use like pygame.random? Or import random. Random.seed import time time.time. Now let's print. Oh, I can just my random number generating can just use the random module. So actually, it was interesting. The fact that none of the results were Pygame specific is because it's not really a Pygame specific thing. I'm going to be using the normal Python random module to tell Pygame to do things. Okay, well that makes sense. So what I actually want should have been doing is taking notes on what to do. Pong for the ball update. Random seed, which I did. Hey, we've got 2 viewers. Thanks for hanging out, people. They took away the score font. Interesting. They took away the player 1. Why would they take away the player 1 into player 2 score? I don't know about that. So velocity and position variables for our ball when the game starts. Those are just the ball X and ball Y are just the. Anyway, okay. Ball position and speed variables. Oh, I remember this from the lecture. This is a syntax that I don't like. I'm not really going to talk about it. Game state variable. Snake casing for me. Okay, now they're going to clamp position between the bounds of the screen. Player 1 is math.maximum of 0 and player 1 Y. Let's just say don't let paddle leave screen. Okay. I won't worry about the details of that right now. Okay, player 2 movement. if game state is play, okay, update ball position. If game state is play. If we press enter during the start of the game, we'll go into play mode. During play mode, the ball will move in a random direction. Key enter to get into play state. And within that, initialize ball position to middle of screen. And given the ball's x and y velocity, a random starting value, initialize position ball to middle screen, initialize x and y velocity to random numbers. Any other differences? Draw different things based on the state of the game. Okay, hello print. This is a kind of a bigger one. Print hello start state, or I put in a parenthesis there, didn't need that. Or hello play state. Render ball at current position. Okay, we got some things to do. That's good. I'm going to exit out of Python in my terminal. So I already did random seed. Ball position and speed variables. Ball x equals, say none for now because I don't want to think about it. Ball y equals none. Then ball, I'm going to call it dx equals none. Ball dy equals none. And I'm going to try to go off of just what I understood from glancing over that code, instead of like copying it line by line. Game state variable. Game state is start. Don't let paddle leave screen. Okay. I think the way I can do this, let's take away that player search because it's a little distracting at the moment. The minimum of, let's see. If this goes below 0, we want the maximum of 0 or that. But we also want the minimum of that. So if player 1, wait a second. I'm doing this all wrong. I'm thinking about this the wrong way. If player 1 y less than 0, just leave it at 0. Not a capital Y though. Let's see, that's 0, so that's good. if player 1 y greater than, let's naively say greater than height, then player 1 y equals height. But we need to be a little more clever than that, because the paddle has a height. So if it's equal to height minus paddle height, it's greater than height minus paddle height, set it to equals height minus paddle height. All right, let's try playing with that. Oh, that's pretty. It just stops it right there. Neat. I think I did that slightly differently than they did, but I'm okay with that. So this, now we write the same thing for player 2, y. It's the exact same logic, except that it should go after this player 2 update. All right, what else? Update ball position if game state is play. Does that mean that the paddles can be moved whether or not we're in the play state of the game? Apparently. I'm going back here. Oops. If game state equal play, move ball. So I'm going to start with this may lead to duplicated code, but I'm just going to do this the basic way. Let's see, we've done logic like this before. Ball X is going to start at width divide by 2 minus ball size divide by 2. And this is going to be the same idea but with height. 2 minus ball size divide by 2. Hey, we have a first time chat. Oh, excuse me, I just bumped my mic. Didn't mean to bump my mic like that. Hater says, I'll follow you if you promise me that you'll learn Rust. I'll make that trade. I won't do it on this stream because I'm in this now. I want to keep going with this. But yes, if you follow me, I will learn Rust. Hey, we've got a follow. It's a done deal. Okay, I will learn Rust. Neat. It's already a done deal, so you don't have to tell me, but I'm curious why you want me to learn Rust. Ball dx, it's going to start at 0. ball dy, it's going to start at 0. I'm being a little inconsistent here. Like we got player 1 y speed and ball dy. All right, cool. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Rust is awesome. It's fast, memory safe, and is very flexible and scalable. Okay. You'll notice when you create software using Rust. How's Rust for game development, since I happen to be doing game development today? Game state equals start. Let's put in a path here so it doesn't totally break. Ball x plus equals ball dx times dt. Ball y plus equals ball dy times dt. And I guess I can... This is where I'm in danger of some duplication, but I can initialize this here. How did they do that? Where is... The dy is... The dx is either 100 or minus 100. Math is random dot choice of 100 or minus 100. Except that, let's see, the paddles go at 300 divided by 1,000. So let's call ball speed 500 divided by 1,000 because we're dealing in milliseconds. Minus ball speed. So at the beginning of the game, it's a random choice which direction it's going. And the dy, they have random minus 50 to 50 times 1.5. Well, why don't they just do minus 75 to 75? That seems like an odd choice. Random.randint minus 75 comma 75, except we need this divide by 1,000. Oh wait, okay, we'll divide it by 1,000 out here. Then we need to set the game state to start. Event type is key down. If it's escape, then we exit. Elif event.key equals pygame.key k underscore. Okay, scan ks can, let's do key press enter, or event.key equals is there a return here? Dot k underscore return. Cool. So if it's returned, if game state equals start, then game state equal play. And meanwhile, if game state equals play, we can take out that pass. Now, what was happening in this whole mess of code? Okay, we can change that. If game state equals start, now what was hello Pong text? I'm gonna change the names of these things. Bring all this into here. Hello Pong. I'll still call it hello Pong text. Hello. Let's call it hello start state. Elif game state equal play. Then it's going to be hello play state. Let's say message equals hello start state, and message equals hello play state. Then regardless of which one of those happened, we run hello Pong text. Hello Pong. Let's call this hold on. Oh, it's message text. Let's call this message text rect. What's it complaining about here? Could be undefined. I guess if game state was something other than start or play, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So let's not worry about that for the moment. Oh, so this ball initialization is actually happening when you press enter to get into play state. So I should move that code down here. But I still need to give these... Do I need to give them values down here? I feel like it's helpful to do that, even if it's not totally necessary. Just so I have a record of what code I have rolling around, what variables I have running around. I mean, hello start state, hello play state, but the ball is not going anywhere. And return doesn't take us back to start state. So we got a little bit of work to do. How are you doing, Hater? You still around? fix elif game state equals play game state. I'll just set it back to start for now. Now, why is the ball not moving? I probably didn't write anything to move the ball. Oh yeah, I'm just drawing my ball at the same place every time. So this will be ball X. This will be ball Y. Now, did I update? Yeah, I did. So let's run this. Uh-oh. Line 124. Oh, I know what the problem is. I just need to give it give it some numbers for this. Let's just give it some junk. 10 and 10 for now, even though that's not really what we want. Cool. Although I'm not liking the way that it's always almost nearly vertical. So let's get some math in here. Ball speed is that. Oh wait, ball speed. So when we initialize over here, instead of this silliness, angle equals math.rand or random.rand int of 0, 3, 59. Actually, let's do. Oh no, it's, yeah, 359. That'll do. And the ball X will be math.sine of angle times ball speed. And this will be math.cosine. Angle. That's ball speed. That'll be nicer. Rerun. There we go. Now it shoots off in pleasingly random directions. Okay. Man, I feel like I could do this for a while. Okay, to-do.text. Print hello start state or hello play state. Render ball at current position. Those things are all happening. But for the start state, I want to reset the ball. Reset the ball. This thing. And also for the starting values for ball X and Y. Okay. Hello start state, hello play state. Cool. And that seems like it's worthy of a break. Also, this thing, I don't know, I have no idea if you can really see it, but my 30-minute sand timer ran down. So it's break time. Okay, we are back. Don't know how much longer we'll be back, but we are back for the moment. Let's see, where were we? That's right, we had a... I guess it's still running? Yeah. We have the play state and we have the start state. And we can escape and it exits, and that's all good. So we're done with Pong 4. Did I ever commit? Pong 4 to do items. Right, quit. And commit Pong 4 wall update. Let's see about, we're going over to the terminal now. What are the changes from 4 to 5? Oh, we've got a whole new file where we put the okay. Yeah, let's leave the old stuff there and just put new stuff here. And now I'll delete all the old. Pong 5. This is the ball class, paddle class. Class.lua. Okay, let's just look at main for now. The class library we're using will allow us to represent anything in our game as code, rather than keeping track of many disparate variables in modules. And in different variables and methods. Classic will require class. So I guess you have to require something to make Lua play nice with classes. Class update. What's ls Pong 5? We have ball, we have paddle, we have class, we have font, we have main, we have push. Let's just ball.lua. I wonder if it'll give me syntax highlighting. Pong 5/ball.lua. Nice. So it has a reset function, it has an update function, and it has a render function. And an init function. Init function reset update render. So let's do the same thing looking at paddle.lua. Init, update, and render are the only things. Okay. Go back to main now. Resizable is true, let's not worry about that. Initialize, okay. Then initialize paddles. Place ball in middle screen. So this is the same logic, but with the render and reset and everything methods. Okay, cool. And now let's look at main.lua and to see, oops, Pong 5 main.lua. We've got set default filter. We got the small font. We've got setup screen. That's stuff that I don't need to think about. We create in it. We create the paddles. So under to do, initialize paddles, place ball in middle of initial. Let's just call that initialize ball. Set game state to start. Player 1 and player 2 movement in response to key presses. Mine's going to be a little bit different because I'm doing an event-driven thing. If game state equal play, then update ball. Love.graphics, that's set. Okay, this is all I think I can figure out as I go. So let's create a new Python file. Let's start with paddle. Def init self, and the things that a paddle needs are, if I go back to my main.py, it needs a width, height, I'm going to say it needs x, y, dx, dy, and x is, I won't fuss around with x equal x, self.y equal y, self.dx equal dx, self.dy equals dy. And you know what? Let's give it some default values. Oops. for dx and y equals 0, so it starts off not going anywhere. And hello, there is a cat on my desk. How about that? So the paddle has init, and what else does the paddle have in terms of methods? There goes the cat off doing cat business. Init and render. Def render. I think it's just self for render. Now let's pull the render code out of here. Oh, interesting. So we need to import Pygame. We need the screen. Do I want the paddle to keep object to keep class track of the screen? I kind of feel like I have to. It's self.screen. Let's call this white. Oh, I need to self.green equals screen. This is going to be self.x, self.y, I guess it also needs to have. All right, let's see how they did it here. So it only has an x, a y, and a width and a height. But wait, there's a dy here. Oh, that's just because the dy is not there in the constructor. It's not an argument, but it is an attribute. X, Y, width, height, dy. Of course there's no dx because it never moves in the x direction. Okay, x, y, dy, width, height, dy. Except, well, dy equals 0. That kind of does the same thing. Self.width equal width. Self.height equal height. Where say width by default equals paddle width, and paddle width equals whatever. Height by default equals paddle height. Equals whatever, we'll fix that later. Self.width, self.height. Now, what were the paddle width and paddle height things? Paddle height was 45 and paddle width was 10. And X and Y is going to be different every time we instantiate it. So there's no need to put in default values there. Okay. Now, oops, what the heck? Go away. Init. Let's start pulling things out. Here we have player one paddle. Player one paddle dot render. And we can initialize player one render player one paddle. Import paddle. And we can get rid of paddle height and paddle width for now. Player 1 Y speed, we've got that taken care of. Player 2 Y speed, we got that taken care of. Player 1 Y, that can get fed into here. X, comma, that. Oh, we do need paddle height. You know what? Okay, maybe I don't want to have these be like that. Let's make paddle width and paddle height be defined out here, but lower down. Where's player one paddle? Here it is. Paddle wall offset. The X position here will be paddle wall offset. Paddle is not callable. I'm not calling it, I'm initializing it. What am I doing wrong? I import... Oh, I know what I did. This should be lowercase. So then I can do from paddle import paddle. Then paddle will be callable with paddle wall offset with X, Y, paddle width, paddle height, and that's it, right? Oh, the screen. So we gotta pull screen up here. Make this all pretty here. Okay, player one paddle is that. Now player two paddle equals with a paddle, the given. I don't love that I'm feeding in screen as an attribute to a paddle. I think that's probably a better way. but we're just gonna do it this way for now. Now, what is the X position gonna be? Of the second paddle. Where's player? Here's where I set that. Render. Let's take away those things. Screen. Why we have in there Pygame.rectangle with width minus paddle wall offset minus paddle width for the X. Player 2Y, we'll just put that in there for now. Paddle width. Something weird with the indentation. Paddle width, paddle height. How do you want to indent this, PyCharm? Ah. Okay, player 2Y is over here somewhere. Player 2Y. There we go. So that's the render. I can take away these comments now that it's so basic, but let's actually put in a comment that says paddles. Now player 1Y no longer exists. We need player 1 paddle dot Y player 1 paddle dot DY player 1 paddle dot Y player 1 paddle dot Y okay, player 2 paddle dot Y plus equals player 2 paddle dot dy times that. If player 2 paddle dot y greater less than 0, player 2 paddle dot y equals that. If player 2 paddle dot y greater than that, then player 2 paddle equals that. Okay. So I think I've taken care of all the... No, I haven't taken care of all the paddle stuff yet. We still have player 1 Y speed. Which we need to replace with player 1 paddle dy. And similarly, player 2. Player 2 paddle dot dy equals minus paddle speed. And then we got the same issue here. Player 1 y speed, player 1 paddle dot dy, player 1 paddle dot dy, player 2 paddle dot dy. Okay, I'm feeling brave, so let's run this and see if it's at all working. Well, the paddles look a little funky, but they move up and down, so that's something. And the ball still works because I haven't changed out the ball code yet. That's pretty funny that I got the width and height backwards on the paddles, though. Let's trace this through a little bit carefully. Paddle width. Paddle. How did I get that backwards? That's really funny. Let's debug this. I don't know if Pygame plays very well with the PyCharm debugger. Paddle height is 10. Alright, let's make this bigger. In module main.py, player 1 paddle, green with protected attributes, that's interesting. Height is 10, width is 45, that's definitely backwards. But up here, paddle width is... Why would I say paddle width is 45? Paddle width should be 10, and paddle height should be 45. I guess I had that backwards. Resume. Oh, but I have to... Oh, just close this. Oh, but it's not listening for that. Resume. It's gonna keep hanging there until I let these continue. There it goes. How's this doing? We're almost done in this work session. This might be it for the stream for tonight. I've got it working. I haven't changed out the way that I haven't written the ball. Let's just look through the code. I'm just gonna kind of scan over it, see what I see. I must have had width and height double backwards the whole time. I feel like paddle speed could be stored inside of paddle.py. Although it's a little bit confusing, potentially. I'll leave that alone for now. make sure this is still running. It is. Okay. Now, why, this is an interesting question. Why does the ball class have an update method, but not the paddle class? I don't know. But that's the end of this timer, and I think that's the end of this stream. So, thank you for watching. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Gonna end it there.